We're going to take a look at angles inside of a triangle, and this is some basic geometry that is a review of grade 9 stuff, and you also would have looked at it in grade 10 a little bit. Really the key here is that the angles inside of any triangle always add up to a total of 180 degrees. So to find any missing angle, you can use a variable for the missing angle, and then you can create an equation. So we know that because it adds up to a total of 180 degrees, let's call this example here on the left-hand side. We know we've got two angles. We've got 21 degrees and 97 degrees. So we don't know the value of angle C. This is the angle that we don't know. So we're just going to call that C. And because we know that all three of those angles have to add up to 180 degrees, you can write the equation like this. You can write up angle A plus angle B plus angle C equals 180 degrees. Okay, and because we know what the values of A, B, and C are, we know that the value of A is 97. Sorry, let me change that. So the value of A is 97 plus B, which is 21, plus C is going to equal 180 degrees. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify the left-hand side of my equation. I'm going to add 97 plus 21. That's going to equal 118. So 118 plus C is equal to 180. So if I want to figure out what C is, I actually have to subtract 118 from both sides. So I'm going to do 118 plus C minus 118 is equal to 180 minus 118. So 180 minus 118. So therefore, my C value is going to be 180 minus 118, and that's going to be 62 degrees. Okay. You can do this a different way as well. If you already know that you're looking for C, you could simply do 180 minus B minus C will give you, or minus B minus A will give you C. So the example here, the equation that's at the top here is one version. You could also use a version of the equation that in this case was C is equal to 180 minus A minus B. Okay, and that would give you the same answer. And it honestly doesn't matter which of those two approaches you use, just so long as you understand that when you add those three angles inside together, it should equal 180. So if I want to double check, I take 62 plus 97 plus 21, and it does in fact add up to 180. So if we look here on the right-hand side, we've got another triangle. And in this particular triangle, it's a little bit different because it actually doesn't give us numbers for every single thing. But it does give us another piece of information. These two tick marks on the two slanted sides of the triangle, they indicate that these two sides are of the same length. And if they're the same length, that also means that these two angles are the same. Okay, so we're going to call this X, and because they're both the same angle, we're going to call both of them X. Okay, so we know that all the angles inside of a triangle are going to equal 180 degrees. So again, let's call this A plus B plus C equals 180 degrees. Okay, I know what angle A is. Angle A is 25. Angle B, we're going to call that X. We don't know what it is. And we also know that angle C is an X. And that, again, equals 180 degrees. So we can simplify this. We can collect our like terms. We've got 25 plus 2x. Okay, so x plus x equals 2x. and that's going to equal 180 degrees. Okay, so 25 plus 2x equals 180 degrees. Now we're just going to go back and we're going to use our Bedmas skills. So I'm actually going to get this 2x all by itself because that's the term with the variable in it. And to do that, I need to actually subtract 25 from both sides of the equation. So I'm going to be left with 2x is equal to 180 minus 25. Okay, so that's going to give me, if I simplify that, that's 2x, and 180 minus 25 is going to equal 155. So 155. Again, I want to get that x term all by itself, and right now it's being multiplied by 2. So what I need to do is I actually need to divide both sides by 2. Okay? And when I divide both sides by 2, I'm going to end up with x is equal to 77.5 degrees. Here, let me try that again. 77.5 degrees. So, key things to be aware of is that the sum of all inside angles of a triangle is 180 degrees, and that's going to be really useful for us when we're doing our 2 units on trigonometry.